Cool, thanks. I'll let you know when you can play it again.
Ruling a nation, dominating on your TV station. Be the call, the escalation. This is your radio salvation. Go, 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 go.
It's a rough discus lariat.
The huge suplex.
You are live inside the studios of GoLive Vegas. I am Aaron Phillips alongside my compatriots here in the studio, Mr. Scott Hosey to my right and immediately to his right, Mr. Matt Mullen, and coming once again from parts unknown, a very busy city in these parts, Mr. Johnny Rock joins us. How are you, Johnny, in the distance?
Doing all right, guys. Coming to you from the East Coast, live and in person.
There you go. Gentlemen here in the studio, how we doing?
I'm doing fine.
Hey, Mom, you can turn that.
I'm good.
Can you mute him while we don't need him? You got feedback there, Johnny.
I hear I'm on a delay.
Where's that coming from?
I have no idea. Maybe it's my phone. Who knows? Not me. Anyway, while we figure out all the connections, we're going to check everybody's volumes. Okay, we're dead wherever it is. Okay. So we're so excited. Everybody's tuning in. We want to thank you for watching tonight's edition of Thoughts Count Anywhere. Hey, by the way, this is the go-home show for Royal Rumble 2020 from those of us here in studio. And we've got a packed show. A lot's been going on in the wrestling world. Everything from matches on the sea to Raw to NXT to AEW to SmackDown to leading up to Sunday's events for Royal Rumble. Gentlemen, we've got a lot to talk about. So are we ready to get started?
Yeah.
Let's begin with I Hear Voices. All right, kick us off, guys.
Matt, why don't you take this one? Because I'm going to bow out.
This is like voting in absentia.
I hear a rumor that Killer Cross had a meeting with Triple H, foregoing the rumors that he's going to WWE.
So there's a lot of speculation, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation that he's going to WWE, but we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Other news out there
Didn't
is...
somebody already?
Go ahead, Johnny.
I was
Ring
going to
the
say,
bell.
didn't somebody already post an article saying that? Ring the bell, thanks. No, didn't somebody already post an article today saying that he's set to make his debut at WrestleMania weekend?
Well,
Or was
most
that
of
fake
the
news?
internet stuff that I saw was that he's not allowed to take any indie bookings, as you're well aware if you're into the wrestling industry. Every indie tries to run around WrestleMania to pick up 24/7 for like a week there's wrestling matches.
Oh yeah, no, it's insane.
So right now
Just wait till it comes here to Vegas. We'll be like the Wrestling Central for the entire month.
It's right now it's all speculation, but of course, one inside we all know that his significant other is of course signed to WWE down at NXT. So maybe that's a sign of things. Who knows? Weirder things have happened.
Yet to make her NXT debut, though.
What's that?
She's yet to make her NXT debut, though. I mean, I'm kind of shocked that I didn't see her in the Battle Royal last week.
Absolutely.
They had pretty much a lot of the, they had a lot of new faces in there, including Mercedes Martinez.
Well, we also, we have Royal Rumble coming up. Maybe she's going to come up for the Royal Rumble for the ladies' match this Sunday. Who knows, right? There's
You
a
think
lot.
they're going to fast track her right to the big show?
Well, why not? For an appearance, if it's going to heighten speculation, I would do it. It's good for business, I guess, right?
Kind of crazy. Mercedes
I-
Martinez she first reported to the Performance Center on Tuesday, and she debuted on Wednesday. So I don't know what the holdup is with Scarlett. I hope it's very
Yeah, they
much
basically
sooner
said,
than
hey,
later.
Mercedes, we know you already. We know what you can do. Just get in the ring. You don't need developmental.
All right, next topic. Talks within WWE is that they might make WrestleMania a 2-day event. How would that work?
I think it'd be a huge mistake because who do you put on the first night? Who do you put on the second night? To me, it's just like having SmackDown and Raw. No reason to do it. Just have one continuous show.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to run 4 or 5 hours now, how long is it, Matt, usually?
It's like 8 hours now.
That's right.
I think I had lunch and dinner.
I disagree with Scott.
Go ahead, Johnny.
I disagree with Scott on this. I think moving to kind of roll the takeover that they normally do before WrestleMania into WrestleMania, because now that NXT is an official third brand, there's no reason why you can't have those matches on the big show.
And it's like a 10-hour show.
I think people will end up getting
break
bored.
it down to 5-hour shows. Instead of having a 3-hour takeover and an 8-hour WrestleMania, just do a 5 hours on a Saturday, 5 hours on a Sunday, and that'll be better for the fans too that are actually in the live arenas. Because I've actually heard from people firsthand who have gone to the last couple of WrestleManias, and they said, it takes a lot out of you. It takes all your energy away. By the end of the show, you're just gassed and you have nothing left. I think great because it really worked for Wrestle Kingdom this year. Wrestle Kingdom was great. Both nights were very compelling and had a lot of great matches. So there was something to keep you coming back. I think moving to a 2-day format would serve the talent better and the fans better, especially the live fans that are in attendance.
I think it would be strictly a money grab by WWE because now you got 2 nights of tickets. Obviously, costs are going to skyrocket. And hotels, they already jack you for the hotels whenever there's a major event. So why don't just...
Well, most people are staying for the entire weekend and not just the night of the event. So they're already there for Saturday night anyway.
Hey, before I forget, our call-in line for everybody that's listening in, we want to thank everybody for tuning in with a couple of reminders. 702-660-7666 is our call-in line. 702-660-7666 is our number. You can also chat with us on Facebook, as well as you can listen to us now on even more outlets. You have the GoLive Periscope channel. We have the GoLive Twitter channel, the GoLive YouTube channel, which we are currently simulcasting on as we speak. Of course, the app for GoLive, just download it to your phone, Android or Apple, as well as, of course, right here on our TCA Thoughts Count Anywhere Facebook page. More locations to catch us with a replay of the show on Sunday at 6 p.m. So 702-660-7666 is our number. I kind of agree with Scott. I think it's going to be a money grab. You already have all these different shows. NXT, you have all of these different shows. The WrestleMania event should always be a standalone card. That's why it's as long as it is the Super Bowl of the wrestling calendar, in my opinion. And I think it should stand alone by itself. There's enough other wrestling events. That's why it's a weekend event. Let it be as is. I'm sure they charge enough money for the WrestleMania experience stuff and everything else. I would say in my mind, let's just let that be.
It'd be like having a Super Bowl
see,
for 2 nights.
But they've also been doing like package deals. Like they'll like, I know for like the big four, where they have like the Raw, the SmackDown, the NXT, like the entire weekend, the 4 days of wrestling. They offer package deals for all 4 nights. It's like a convention. It's like going to, like Level Up or, Comic-Con or whatnot. You can pay less money to only go to one night, or you can pay for the bundle.
Well, that's why you should leave it as is. You've already got different cards going on. You've got NXT Saturday Night TakeOver. And quite frankly, I'm sure we're going to see some of the other promotions around WrestleMania do some stuff like we always do. So I think that people coming will always have their options, regardless of to participate and make it as much of a wrestling weekend as they want. Next topic. Since Taya lost the Impact Women's Championship, she could be wrapping up her time with Impact to join her husband, John Morrison, in WWE. More speculation, gentlemen?
Speculation is the fact that it's going to happen. Everybody knew it was going to happen, just when. And now that John has shown up on Raw or SmackDown, whichever brand he's on, it's a given. Why not? And then...
I think she's going to AEW, actually.
Well, let me ask you this. What does Impact have left?
Rosemary.
Pretty soon, nobody.
They have one person, right? Well, I give Sami Callihan credit. He worked a great match, and from all conversation that I've had, was all for having Tessa go over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. All right, so again,
And like even with everything Tessa's dealing with right now, clearly Impact has not lost faith in her, dialed back on it. I mean, they've just kind of hit the gas on her full bore, and more power to her.
there's only one couple that I can think of within the world of pro wrestling today that being on separate promotions has been working, and I'll put that word in quotes. And of course, that's Renee Young over at WWE, John Moxley / Dean Ambrose, whatever you want to remember him by, over at AEW. And it's got to be hard. You separate promotions, separate schedules. Moxley's out on a cruise while Renee Young is hosting WWE backstage. So it's got to be hard in that scenario. All right, it is time.
They're not the only couple that's divided. You got Peyton Royce and Sean Spears. You got Big Swole and Cedric Alexander. I mean, they're all making it work.
Well, yeah, but to me, the
Cole.
highest profile one is Renee and Moxley. But I get your point. There are others.
Yeah.
But either way, it's still got to be tough. All right, next topic. Gentlemen, let us begin with a huge WWE report. Gentlemen, take it away.
Royal Rumble is this Sunday, and they have
Yes.
up the whole card lined up finally. We got Sheamus versus Shorty G, Becky Lynch versus Asuka, Baron Corbin versus Roman Reigns, Bayley versus Lacey Evans, and The Fiend versus Daniel Bryan, plus the 2 Royal Rumble matches.
There's a D on the end of his name, right?
Fiend.
It's
The
Fiend.
Fiend.
As in the enemy.
Yeah. My bad.
No, just kidding.
He never puts the D on the run sheet. I thought we were just kind of used to it by now.
Well, I'm just saying I'm retentive to certain things. But anyway,
We're feeding for that D.
that's right. Maybe, who knows, last week
Speak for yourself.
the Fiend almost showed up. The Fiend showed up last week, at least in spirit. We went red at the end of last week's show, so that was kind of creepy.
Did you? I didn't see it.
You didn't? Well, had you watched the podcast, you would have seen it. But anyway, all right.
We want to talk about the preview.
First of all,
Is
the preview
anything-
starts at 2 o'clock. It's
Yeah.
a 2-hour preview show before the main card even starts.
I
Pretty
guess,
much you're going to see Short D versus Sheamus in that hour.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just bored with it. I'm not excited about it.
I'm excited for the Royal Rumble match.
Maybe,
itself.
yeah.
I love the Rumble, and the title matches they have booked are really good. It's just everything else on the card. I'm just like, eh.
Yeah, I sit here and I'm like,
Why did you see Corbin
and Reigns again.
Roman
Yeah.
falls count anywhere?
I'm not getting excited about it. I don't feel the love.
I for one.
Just the Rumble itself is always exciting for me. I mean, that's enough of a draw for me to watch.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the Rumble, with the anticipation of who the surprise entrance is, I think what made last year's Royal Rumble very underappreciated, I should say underappreciated, underwhelming. There were no surprises last year.
No.
Nothing.
Last
Not
couple
at all.
years, it's been like, hey.
It was just there was nobody, and there's a lot of anticipation for this year with some of the names that you would expect: Edge, Paige, CM Punk's name even's been coming around.
Yes.
So it's the same names we've been hearing for a couple of weeks, but there were a lot of names. There even maybe Cena's name even got thrown out there to possibly come back for the Royal Rumble. But we will see. I think the anticipation of who could win, with Brock being number one, I think has got to be. Would you guys not agree that the men's Royal Rumble will more than likely be the main event?
Yeah, most likely. It's gonna-
Probably, especially because the way I fantasy booked it in my head. When we get to predictions, I'll let you know.
For everybody that bitches about Brock Lesnar, they're gonna hate this pay-per-view. It's gonna be a very Brock-heavy pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Do you think he runs the gamut and
No.
wins the whole thing? Who do you
I think he
think's-
was I think he's gonna be the last one eliminated though.
I think he's going to make it to the final four.
Yeah.
Okay, and who do you think will be the one to get over? So I guess my point is, who do you think is going to win the men's side of the Royal Rumble?
My original pick months ago was Reigns, but I'm kind of leaning more towards Drew McIntyre now because he's gotten a huge push recently.
Well, aren't they facing each other at the card as well?
No,
Or am I-
No.
you're thinking Corbin and Reigns.
No, but I just saw announced. Oh, I think with the racing card.
Drew is only in the Rumble.
Yeah, but I think maybe it's WrestleMania that they're aiming for McIntyre and Reigns. But yeah, by the way, I hope this dog food garbage match stuff
Yes.
between Corbin and Reigns. I hope they stick a fork in it this week, and it is done.
As soon as they have a dog food on a pole match.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Elbow.
Hey, they
that's
can always
smart.
bring back the kennel. They can always bring back the kennel from hell.
Johnny, I don't know if you're also able to watch the chat room. I don't know if you're watching the Facebook feed as well, but Tommy Zuniga has a message in there for you that I will not repeat over the air. So see if you can grab it if you can. So,
Wait, for me?
Yeah, for you.
Well, I also want to throw something out there to Tommy. If I read it correctly online, congratulations, my friend.
What did we do?
I saw a wedding ring.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I could be wrong.
Sucker. Should we start calling him Rusev? I mean, I don't know.
Before we went on the air, there was a Facebook picture of Mark Stone from our Las Vegas Golden Knights asking his girlfriend, now fiance, to marry him. So,
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Boy.
Just say
Ryan
no.
Smith suggests loser eats dog food match between
Roman
Corbin
already
and Reigns.
did.
Yeah, right. That's
Right.
true. And got saved.
So-
got saved from a
So we
second course by the
Drew
Usos.
McIntyre. Who do you guys, Matt and Aaron, who do you guys pick?
I agree with Scott. I think it's going to be Drew McIntyre.
They're kind of turning him.
Drew.
They're kind of turning him a little face now, aren't they?
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
yeah,
starting
he's-
to.
All right. And with two heels holding the main belts, you got to have a babyface win, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a clean sweep on this end for Drew McIntyre winning the Rumble. All right. Who else in the match?
Whoa, I don't. I do not think it's Drew McIntyre.
Okay, I thought you did. Go ahead.
Yeah, I thought so too.
So who's going to be your pick
CM
for the
Punk.
men? So you're convinced
CM
CM
Punk.
Punk's going to make his return?
I think he's going to come in at number 30 and knock Brock out.
Interesting. Interesting.
All CM Punk ever wanted, he said the one reason he'd ever come back is to get a WrestleMania main event. I think he's going to go to Mania and he's going to lose to Brock.
Interesting. Okay.
Keeps his losing
He'll
streak.
get his main event. But he'll get his main event. He'll be the final match.
All
He
right.
won't have to take second fiddle to Cena and The Rock again.
Seth thought he was getting his main event last year, too.
Right.
Yeah, well, his future wife did. I don't think he complained about it.
All right. Moving on to the other matches. Sheamus versus Shorty G. Is this a pre-show match?
God, I hope so.
I would hope
Probably.
so.
All right. So I think we're all pretty much thinking that the Celtic Warrior will more than likely win since it is his
yeah.
return.
He's
all
going
right.
to aim low and kick his head right off.
Becky Lynch versus Asuka. Asuka survived. For those who don't know, there was a shooting here in Las Vegas at one of the main malls, the Fashion Show Mall.
Thank you. Make sure you
Not
get
the
right
Boulevard Mall.
shit.
Wasn't the Boulevard.
Yeah.
Fashion Show
Make
Mall.
sure you get the right mall.
Thank you.
Thank
the
you.
heart of
Boulevard
Las,
is a safe mall.
Yes, thank you.
the heart of Las Vegas Boulevard, right across the street from. Why am I blanking on the hotel? The Wynn.
And what, Venetians right
Venetians
there? Yeah.
right
Venetian
there,
as
yeah.
well. So Asuka quoted as saying that basically, if it wasn't for the Guess jeans store that she was able to duck into to save herself from what she called the shooting range, God knows she could have been one of the. There were only 3 people injured. Nobody died. There were no fatalities. But anyway, so she survived enough that she will move on to facing Becky Lynch, and apparently she's dating somebody that lives here in Vegas, which is why now she's starting to be seen more here in Vegas.
Yeah, and
Hey,
yeah.
hey, Matt, you're on airport watch. I want my.
All right, so who do you think wins? Does Lynch retain or does Asuka knock her off?
I think Becky.
Okay.
Becky's going to win that one.
I go with Becky.
Because when you hear my pick for the Women's Royal Rumble, you'll understand why.
All right, we'll get there in a second. Bailey versus Lacey Evans.
I go with Lacey.
Bailey.
Dear God, I hope Lacey wins. I hate Bailey.
I think it's time. All right, now let's go back to Corbin and Reigns. We didn't pick a winner. Reigns?
Hands down.
Roman, for sure.
Okay, and the last one for the Universal title, The Fiend versus the reborn Daniel Bryan.
Fiend.
Fiend.
Fiend until WrestleMania. All right,
He's going to hold that thing until Roman takes it from him at Mania.
next topic. All right, main event wins. Here's time for our predictions for the men's and women's Rumble Royal. Royal Rumble, Rumble Royal. For the dyslexic crowd, Rumble Royal. For the
leather,
Jewish
yellow
people,
leather.
Royal Rumble, Rumble Royal. Okay.
Or for Yoda.
Or for you. That's right.
You're at a loss, aren't you?
No. I'm actually reading some of the quotes that are going on. Thomas is providing some great commentary in there. Thomas writes, if Punk loses to Brock, there will be a riot at Raymond James Stadium. Becky isn't losing until WrestleMania, and Ryan predicts The Fiend as well. Okay, so real quickly, predictions on the main events for the Rumble, men, women's. We have Drew. We picked Drew on the men's side.
I say Charlotte.
Charlotte?
I got to go with my girl Alexa Bliss, just because.
Alexa, do we expect? Are we expecting any surprise entrances on the women's side that we've heard, other than maybe Paige?
Trish and Lita, probably.
But that doesn't thrill me, and we don't see them winning anyway, do we? I mean,
No.
some of the vets to come back after seeing them at the...
One of those nostalgia acts that everybody still wants to see.
But how do you, with all the push that they're giving the ladies, and it's very well deserved, why do you bring in Lita and Trish and take away from the ladies that are kicking ass right now?
Absolutely.
And I can say that on a podcast.
Yes, you can. 702-660-7666. Let's hear your predictions. We are getting some in the chat room, but give us a call and let us know. 702-660-7666. All right, Matt, back to you for the women's side. Hang on, Johnny. Matt?
I go with Alexa Bliss.
You got Alexa. All right, Johnny.
You know, I actually have two. It depends on if one of them is ready to return. If Ronda Rousey is a surprise entrant, she's winning that Royal Rumble and challenging Becky Lynch one-on-one.
That was the name. Yep, that was the name that came up as a potential return.
If she's not, I go with Shayna Baszler.
She's coming up. That's why she's coming up as well. You know, there's a possibility that, I don't know if it's going to make an impact for the Rumble or not, but Ruby Riott is due back soon, too. Could she be coming back for the Rumble?
Oh, she'll probably come back at the Rumble, but she won't win it.
So's Nia Jax, supposedly. She should be back,
Jax, too. That's another name that keeps coming. To me, I think the Women's Royal Rumble is a more wide open possibility of winners than the men's side.
Well, the fact that we've already spent 2 minutes more than on the men's, obviously we know where our attention span is, because obviously, in my opinion, the women's to me is more important now.
That's right. Thomas believes Ronda is returning. All right. So in conjunction with that, the next topic, who would we like to see as a surprise entrant? But I think we've already covered a little bit of that. Real quickly, though, let's go over some Raw stuff. Okay. Andrade beat Mysterio in a ladder match. Buddy Murphy and Seth Rollins, and I think much of a surprise, wins the Raw Tag Team titles. And Ricochet stands up to Lesnar and gets low blowed for his efforts. What stood out to you for Raw, guys? Matt, start with you.
That ladder match between Andrade and Rey Mysterio was awesome. I figured Zelina Vega would get involved and cost Mysterio the match, was basically what happened. That DDT he took on the ladder was vicious. Did you guys see that?
I saw it in the highlights.
I still haven't actually watched Raw from this week, but I read the recap and everything. The way the author described that match, I was like, oh, I got to see that.
Yeah, it was definitely one to watch.
I actually preferred, because of the shock factor, the Buddy Murphy, Seth Rollins winning the tag belts, because you figured AOP was, does that create tension between the faction now? But we'll see.
All right, there's a comment that just came in the chat room as we were chatting from Amy. Her thought is, for the women's side, what about Scarlett with a very special guest? We'll leave it at that.
Too soon.
Too soon.
Too soon.
All right. All right.
I'll discuss that later.
I don't think they're gonna leapfrog Scarlett straight to a main roster show.
Next topic. SmackDown from last week. Newsworthy items, Mr. Matt. Let's start with you. Anything from SmackDown that stood out going into Royal Rumble?
The lead-in of the Fiend, or Daniel Bryan grabbing the Fiend's hair, kind of payback for what he did to him. That was kind of a cool effect, and I'm kind of looking forward to that match just to see if they can prolong it anymore. But I'm pretty sure this is going to be the end of their feud.
To me, it's been a boring feud anyway. So let's move on to.
I think the Miz feud had way more promise.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And for me, seeing John Morrison back.
Yeah, that was really cool
Jomo
too. He had a good
good.
match.
Great match.
Jomo looks good.
And if you watch some of the interaction with Miz looked a little jealous there. It was like, he can
Wasn't
still
that his
move at
old
his age.
catchphrase? Jealous?
He wish he can do a flip.
702-660-7666. Hey, by the way, we are remiss on mentioning this, though you see it on our opening clips and you kind of see it on the graphics behind us. Without the support of Power Play Sports Collectibles and this man sitting between Matt and I, this show would not be possible. So please go down to Power Play Sports and Collectibles, down at which mall?
The Boulevard Mall.
The Boulevard Mall. The address is up on your screen now, and you also have...
not a shooting range.
Yeah, it's not a shooting range, and you have a show coming up at Sunset Casino this weekend.
This weekend,
which we have an announcement to make. Go.
What's the announcement?
That we're...
I'm shocked. Spoiler alert. That's his secret entry. Anyway, we are doing our sports cards and collectibles show this Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. over at Sunset Station, right across basically from where our old location was at the Galleria Mall, we're moving all our functions to the Sunset Station.
Which is not a shooting mall, by the way.
Absolutely. Well, no, it actually is.
Well, not this past week.
No. But needless to say, Saturday, Sunday, 10 to 6, free admission. On Saturday, we'll have former Cleveland Indian, Dodger, and Olympic baseball player Corey Snyder signing autographs.
Nice.
So he'll be there
cool.
from 12 to 2. And
You want to make the announcement?
we are going to do the Power Play Sports Cards Collectibles Show live on air from the card show at
Yes.
Sunset Station.
Yes, I will be getting up at 5 a.m. to go all the way across town from where I live to get
On horse and buggy.
On horse and buggy. I have to remember my passport to get stamped as I go over
Yes.
15. But yes, Power Play Sports Collectibles will be live from the show, Sunset Station, beginning at 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. same time and everything Pacific. So we'll be live there, and you've got some of the vendors lined up for us to chat with. Right?
Absolutely. We'll talk to some of the vendors that have done shows for many years, some that have just started, some toy vendors. We'll have them come on for a few minutes, and we'll, kind of show the room and, make it a big advertising push for our vendors because, it's after Christmas, but, hey, it's good to buy gifts for anyone, anytime, and to enjoy a hobby.
And we'll see some more ideas of collectibles and what other things are in the market
Sure.
that other people have as well that we can also talk about. So 8 a.m. Pacific, same time for Power Play Sports Collectibles, only we will not be in studio. We will be on the road like the, what do they call that? The Antique Roadshow, the Collectibles Roadshow.
Yep.
We will be at Sunset Station this Saturday live down there with Scott and folks down there. Okay, let's go back now.
Hey, Aaron,
Yes.
you act like waking up at 5 a.m. is such an inconvenience for you. You're up at 5 a.m. every day.
Yeah, but not on Saturdays. I don't have to be. I get
You're
up at
always blowing
5:30
up
on
the phone
Saturdays.
Like 5, 6 in the morning.
That's true.
Yeah,
Well,
Aaron and I are usually chatting on our way to work while you two are sleeping.
that's right. When you reach a certain
Like, guys, I just went to bed like an hour ago.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You guys are
So-
messaging each other. I'm like just getting up for work.
Yeah, well, when you get to a certain age, your body stops sleeping past a certain time, no matter how much you try to talk it into staying later. 702-660-7666. Give us a call with your predictions, doggone it. We know 3,000 of you have watched last week's show, almost 3,000 a week before. 3,000 this week will watch the show. There's got to be a couple of people that have opinions that want to call in and share your thoughts of winners for this upcoming card. Doggone it. All right, next topic. Let's go. Well, we mentioned Edge, but he's shooting down rumors that he's returning or has even signed a new contract. Do you guys think it's a work?
It's a work.
All right, so you think he's going to appear. Scott, Matt?
I think he's going to show up, yeah.
I think he's going to appear. Everyone's just trying to avoid the John Morrison situation where he's blabbering too much and kind of ruin the surprise, so everyone's kind of working it. And
What, the internet ruins surprises?
Well, listen, like
once
Abe,
in a great
Yeah.
while.
like Abe Lincoln said, you
Say
never
it
can.
ain't so. The internet ruins nothing.
Like Abe Lincoln said, you can never trust what's written on the internet. So,
That's right.
Ask Al Gore.
and that's from honest.
I learned that from stuff
We
that
don't talk
Franklin said.
politics.
Because on the internet, it must be true.
That's
It's
right.
on Facebook.
That's
true.
right. It's on Facebook.
yeah.
All right. So we all believe that Edge is working. Okay. And Kalisto re-signs with WWE. That sort of surprises me because I think a lot of people had him out the door, possibly moving to AEW or Ring of Honor, but he re-signs.
I think Vince is trying to stop everybody from going to AEW. That's why he's signing everybody to like 5-year contracts.
Now, that could be dangerous. If he's signing people these big numbers economically, at some point, I got to think that that's going to come back and bite WWE in the backside.
Well,
Yes.
I honestly think it's because Ray's on his way out the door.
Oh, so they want to keep a Kalisto type wrestler.
Yes, with
Okay.
with
With Andrade and everything.
That makes
Absolutely.
sense.
Because as Ray's been beat up, hurt, he's been talking about retiring both privately and publicly. Mm-hmm. And Ray's seen his better days.
Yeah.
I mean, so
I think Ray's retiring at
Yeah.
Mania.
Do you think his son steps up though?
I don't think
Yes.
he's ready.
Oh, hell yeah. We talked about that last week.
Well, yeah, no. I know, but I saw an article today come through that there's talk or desire by, I don't remember if it was Ray or whoever, wanting his son to skip right to the main roster, which I would not agree with.
Wishes, and you can wish in one hand and what else in the other. But if he's not ready, Vince is not going to take him to the main roster.
Absolutely. All right, next topic. Of course, we know last week the great, Rocky Johnson passed away, and The Rock reveals that his dad died from a blood clot in his leg, which broke loose and caused a heart attack, which is very common, unfortunately, at certain ages, went up into his lung, and he passed away from that. However, there's also some family dissension because the WWE planned to honor Rocky Johnson after the Usos and Roman won their match, but because of a family feud, plans were changed. Is that still a disservice to Rocky because The Rock has not spoken to Rikishi, yada, yada, yada? I mean, what's more important, remembering Rocky Johnson or not because of the family strife?
Well, personally, with my years at CAC, the Colorado Alley Club being on the board, I had an opinion of titles and championship belts and that need to be left outside the room. Have people come in, tell their war stories and lies, because that's what it is in wrestling, war stories and lies, and enjoy the fact that you worked together for many years. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry if the Usos or Rikishi have something, against Rocky, so be it. But you know what? He's not with us anymore.
Correct.
And you can't say goodbye. You can't hug him anymore. You can't say I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. So you know what? Grow up, all of you, and stop being petty.
I'm pretty sure that death kills any feud that ever was.
Yeah, some does, some doesn't. And you know what? For those people who kills the feud, God bless them, and you're better people for it. But it's when you hold that grudge, stop, because you can't look back. You can never.
Life's
get it
too
back.
short.
Life's
for
too short to
bullshit.
hate.
Yeah.
All right. Next topic, we go to the Indies. FSW No Escape this Saturday at Samstown. We have Killer Cross versus Funny Bone tag title match. Shogun Jones and Mystery Partner versus Hammerstone and Graves. No Limits title. Remy Marcel versus Ice Williams. RMB versus Death Proof 4-way tag. The Unguided versus Sky High versus Hyper Quick versus the Bad Bitches. Also set to appear Teddy Hart and many more. Any insight on this card, fellas?
I didn't hear.
I wish I could be there for it. I'm kicking myself that I won't be because I was really excited to see this one.
I'll most likely be there because...
Is this that down at the FSW place?
No,
it's at Samstown.
Oh, it's at
Samstown.
Samstown. Gotcha. Oh, I'm sorry. Had
And
I
I'm-
read the script that I just read out loud, I guess I would have heard myself saying Samstown.
And I'm trying to negotiate possibly having our memorabilia area set up over there.
Wow.
Because some of us, me in the middle, will be at a sports cards and collectibles show and be entertaining our guests, autograph guests, after the show. So I won't be able to be there. I did hear from a good friend today who's in the main event, and he does want me to stop by and chit-chat after the match with him. So hopefully I will make it down there, but hopefully I can negotiate with Matt to see about setting up.
Negotiations are closed. I'll be there.
Okay.
Jeez. Wow,
That was
everybody
tough,
has a
wasn't it?
price. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to say. All right. ROH announces event for Las Vegas replaced the anniversary show with ROH past versus present on March 14th.
That is the most
God.
ridiculous thing I think I've heard Ring of Honor do in a while. How are you going to do a past show with past people when every major person ever in Ring of Honor is either in AEW or WWE?
Yeah, who are they going to get? Curry Man?
It's going to be a very quick show then, won't it?
They're going to be begging people to go into that arena that day.
I don't understand why Marty resigned.
Because they gave him the Kings the key to the car. Isn't he like the number
But when
one?
you're driving a Yugo, you don't want the keys.
I actually heard it's because they want to see if Marty can go AEW.
Would you rather
Marty's
drive
neck.
the Hugo or be in the passenger seat of the Lamborghini?
Yeah.
I'd rather be the passenger seat in the Batmobile personally, but that's just me.
Vince will buy you whatever
are
car
you
you
the
want.
boy wonder now?
No, I'm Batman.
Okay.
I have-
Why
I
are you
have
in the
my-
passenger seat?
Well, that's a good question. Why would
Yeah.
I be? I'm Batman. I'd be driving the damn car.
No one has ever seen you and Batman in the same place,
I keep telling people, but if you look under my shirt, there.
I don't want to look under your shirt.
Yeah, look down here. But if you see here right here, people, you just never know. Anyway, yeah, but I mean, Marty Scurll got the contract. He's now the muckety muck of creative, but that also means he really can't write himself in to be a champion. How would that look?
Oh, you can do whatever you want. Ask
Well,
Cody
you could,
Rhodes.
yeah, but Cody,
That's not necessarily true.
but Cody though is not wearing the belt.
He's not wearing the belt, but he's
Okay.
burying every
Let's-
top guy in the company. That is a Vern Gagne move. Drop the mic.
Can you guys hear me still?
Yes,
Unfortunately.
we're just purposely talking over you. Go ahead.
Jeff Jarrett booked himself as champion plenty of times in
Sure.
TNA.
And it doesn't work out.
Johnny's gonna have to stop talking. The lights are turning on in the room. Anyway. All right.
No,
no-
but did you guys hear what I said about Marty and AEW, though?
yes, that they're trying to make a connection, right?
Yeah, I think there might be talk of a possible absorption since AEW is getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Okay.
I could see that
Right now,
happening.
I could see it happening because, you know,
At him right now.
you always take in the stray puppy.
Now, with all the stuff, though, that's going on, Scott, I want to ask this question to you. We've talked in past shows where you believe that there's a little bit of behind-the-scenes, I don't want to say conspiracy,
Sure.
but inner workings of WWE and owning actually AEW. There was a recent article that this came up that WWE sued AEW over the use of Bash at the Beach, or one of its recently named, because they owned all the rights to the WCW stuff. Would you be suing your own company if that were the case?
This is Vince McMahon. He'll sue anybody.
Did you hear the actual reason why they sued, though?
Something
It wasn't because they owned the Bash at the Beach name. They said it sounds too close to the Great American Bash.
Oh, so it's okay. Similarity. So it's semantics.
But
then,
what's
where
the
that
best
goes.
way to have a company go over is to have competition. It's sort of like having a main event with one wrestler. It doesn't work, one hand clapping. So if Vince creates a...
Is that what they call it now?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a one-hand clapper?
Yeah.
We need a
Ask
visual,
Johnny.
Scott. Can you try?
Johnny can take care of that. There you go. I was doing that last week. Okay. But no, I mean, I honestly believe, and some people in the know, behind the scenes that work for AEW, are starting to doubt it also.
Okay. It'll be
Happy
interesting.
birthday, Tully Blanchard.
Yeah, there you go. 702-660-7666. I dare anybody to call in with their thoughts and comments on the upcoming Raw. I double dog dare anybody to call in and give us your thoughts. Be live on the show with us. Okay, Johnny, let's do a BVW recap real quickly of the show this past week. Go.
Oh man, God. Almost every match on the card was amazing. I'm going to single out a few just because if I talk about that, I'll be going way too. You'll have to bell me.
Have the bell ready.
Yeah.
I got you on a 30-second clock.
All right, so the main event, Kevin Duckett versus Shawn Black for the Las Vegas title. Shawn Black is your new Las Vegas champion.
Right on.
That was just crazy from start to finish. I mean, it was a hardcore anything goes match we had. Kevin Duckett flying off a ladder through a thumbtack covered table.
Now, this was also a match where attendees were asked to actually bring in potential weapons to use in the match.
Yes, and we had everything from adult toys to crowbars.
Jeez. That's
Rather
crazy.
large adult toys. They were kind of intimidating.
All right, any other?
I don't even want to know how they
I was
were
gonna-
used.
There was a pajama and pillow fight between Tommy Purr and Ricky Tenacious.
Oh my God.
That
Sponsored by
hear the commentary.
Victoria's Secret, I bet.
We had a really
I'll
good
leave my
tag
comments off
tag
here.
match.
Yes.
A really good innovative tag match between the Sour Boys and the new team of Team High Risk. That's Simon Lotto and Steven Andrews.
Right.
That Steven Andrews and Simon Lotto are definitely going to go places in this town. They have so much chemistry as a team, and we're putting on some really good innovative stuff that was on par with like the Young Bucks.
Now, I believe the next card is February around 16th, the Valentine's Day weekend.
The Sunday after Valentine's Day.
There you go. And so be on the lookout for information at that. Of course, it'll be at the Sahara Event Center, 2 p.m. So information will be posted on the big... That also marks my one-year anniversary with BVW, Johnny.
That it does. But yeah, if you can listen to the commentary on that pillow fight match, Muse had me cracking up so hard I actually broke character on the mic, which I never do.
Gotcha. Well, once it's available by BVW, we will post it up there. All right, next topic. Next on the sheet, AEW and Impact News. Take it away, fellas.
Well,
Matt?
I sent off a text to Matt a couple days ago or yesterday that the announcement for the 2021 cruise is out, and I've been telling this guy next to me that he should sign up, and there is going to be
My GoFundMe will be available tomorrow. I'm just kidding.
no, he's not.
Maybe. You'll see.
You know, we should set
I'd
up a
love to go,
GoFundMe
though.
and send all of us to the Good Jericho cruise, and we'll do a live show from the cruise.
That would be
Just
great.
saying.
I'd love that. That would be wonderful. We can make that
Sponsor us.
happen by 2020.
Yes.
Speaking of
GoFundMe,
which, I'm
yes.
glad you brought that up. Speaking of which, folks, listen, we have our viewership over the last couple of weeks has tripled in what we're doing here, not only for this show, but also our sister show that Scott and I do, Power Play Sports and Collectibles, which means for you, where's the camera? Over there? No, I'm over there. Okay, I'm going to talk to you right there. So, which
You're
means
everywhere.
I'm everywhere. I got 8 cameras here. Next thing I know, it'll be under the table. Anyway, Advertising opportunities, folks, 3,000 people within 24 to 36 hours. We are reaching people all over the world and constant followers. You want to advertise and market on the fastest growing show based in Las Vegas that talks wrestling and pop culture, you need to reach out now, because when we hit it big, like 10 million views a week, I don't know about prices. I don't know. But right now,
They're going to go up a little bit.
they're going to go up just a little bit. Maybe not as high as the Knights tickets, I guarantee you that. But call us, reach out to us, folks. We have opportunities to market between both shows. Don't look at me like that. We can put both shows together and put a great package together between both of our shows. So reach out to us via email at
thoughtscountanywherepodcast@gmail.com or on our Facebook page. You can find the link.
Jason Piper likes our shirts, by the way. So send us information. You will reach one of us. We will get back to you within 24 hours to start chatting with you. No obligation. Just sit down and talk with us to let us show you what we can do to help promote you and your business. For what I'm telling you is pennies on the dollar. I've been doing this for the last 14 and a half years in this city. Nobody prepares packages like we do for the prices that we present for your business success. Okay, enough about my commercial.
Not only that, more sponsors and more cash flow also means we can produce more content. So
there you go.
I'd like to see more.
And support.
Johnny can actually be in studio.
That's right. We've taken. That's right.
Right? They can afford a fourth chair.
That's right. Which, by the way, make sure you go out on the
There's
Facebook.
no bars.
There's no. We won't put him in a crib when he comes into studio, I promise you. And also, look, GoLive Vegas.
I mean a shark cage above you guys.
That's right. The shark cage, the Jericho cage. By the way, go out and like GoLive Vegas, GoLiveVegas.com. Great content. Shows are building. Music 24/7. And by the way, you advertise with our shows. We can even have you advertise on the radio station of GoLive every hour on the hour with a full 60-second commercial for as many commercials as you want. So reach out to us again at
thoughtscountanywherepodcast@gmail.com.
Periscope, Twitter, GoLive YouTube channel, the GoLive app, TCA Facebook, and all of our podcast locations. Okay, let's go back to AEW for a second, gentlemen. So tonight their matches are coming from where they originated was the Cruise, the Jericho Cruise.
The Cruise of Jericho.
The Cruise of
Sail
Jericho.
away, man.
And I believe by the time we're on the air, some things have already happened on TV. Is that correct?
New tag champs.
Adam Page and Kenny Omega win the tag team titles tonight.
So you don't even have to watch them. You can just watch us.
Just watch us. We'll break news.
It's kind of funny. Somebody posted a picture from
Okay,
the
Eric
Cruise.
Bischoff.
Thank you.
Even though nobody was supposed to have their phones on them, I think they took people's phones while they were filming the matches.
Wow.
Isn't that the Derek Jeter rule?
There was there was a cruise ship right next to them, and everybody on that cruise ship was on the balcony watching the wrestling matches.
Jeez. And probably video recording as best as they can.
That's
Okay.
how the spoilers got out, I'm sure.
That's right. AEW Dark to premiere on Fight TV, AEW Plus for $4.99 a month, which also includes all the weekly show, all the wheelie shows, shows commercial free, all the weekly shows. Is this a good thing for After Dark to premiere on TV again? I mean, is it good for AEW this early to expand to multiple hours?
I don't think multiple hours or multiple shows they need. I think they need some live shows to work on their wrestlings and not their botched spots. I have watched some of the most horrible matches with botched moves. And it's simple because they're not doing any house shows. House shows are there to work through the matches, work with your dance partner, and they're not doing any of them, and it's starting to show very, very badly.
Now they're talking about, I saw the botch during the Dark Order which everybody saw on the internet, where the guy was just whiffing on.
Oh, the sissy punches?
The sissy punches where they were whiffing on Gold Dust. And I just read what they're trying to do now is actually make that part of the storyline, where the person who was missing on those punches now is like the weak link. And they had this guy cornered in some corner somewhere last week and talking to him like, we're, going to call you out. So now they're trying to intertwine that into the storyline with the Dark Order, as well as a lot of speculation on who might be the real leader of the Dark Order.
I was reading online that when they announced Marty Scurll got re-signed to Ring of Honor, they were going to use him in AEW as the leader of the Dark Order.
So the Dark Order is basically just an offshoot of Villain Enterprises? I would love that.
My choice is Matt Hardy.
That would make sense, wouldn't it?
Yes!
He was streaming after being on Raw this past week and losing to Eric Rowan. He was like number 15 or 12 or something like that. Highest trending on Twitter this past Monday night because of his appearance with, and it's unfortunate that the WWE is not taking notice to that, about how the universe is still into Matt Hardy.
Well, I think they're stuck in the whole thing with every time they try to bring in Matt, Jeff shows up healthy again. They try to tag them together, and then Jeff has an incident.
Right.
So, I mean, Matt should really sit down with his brother and smack him upside the head for one. But needless to say, Matt's a great talent. Both of them are great talents. It's just, one has issues. But Matt's contract's up. I don't see any work for him in WWE. So why not go to AEW and
start fresh?
Start fresh.
Where they will let him do the delete character.
Absolutely.
Fully, unlike what Vince was trying to do. Okay. Next topic within AEW. They signed a new commentary deal. It looks like Taz has signed on with AEW, at least initially, to do commentary. Thoughts?
I think it's a great move. I love JR to death, but I think the time has passed him. He's a great guy, Hall of Famer, legend. It's sort of like watching college football and hearing Keith Jackson.
Yes.
But needless to say, time's past him. Shivani still has it. I don't like
Excalibur.
I don't like Excalibur.
Really, and everybody's saying he's the best of the three from a lot of reports I'm reading. I mean, I don't catch it that much, but reports are saying how good he's actually doing. Hey, Justin, thanks for tuning in.
He's still greener than goose turds, though.
True, but I think Taz would be a huge plus to that commentary team.
Yeah.
And, I think...
Stick. If they are going to do AEW Dark as a full-time thing, stick Excalibur on there to cut his teeth and put Taz on the main show.
All right, Johnny, hang on, gentlemen. We actually have a caller. Caller, please tell us your name and where you are calling from. Thank you. Who is this?
This is Ryan Smith from Denver, Colorado.
Ryan Smith
What's up, Ryan?
From Denver. Thank you for calling in. What's up?
So I know you guys were earlier talking about the Rumble, but
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and give my predictions.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Drew's winning the men's Rumble, but my Iron Man, or I think it's going to go the longest, is going to be Aleister Black.
Ooh. We didn't really mention
I
it too
said
much.
on Twitter earlier. I actually said on
I
Twitter
think he's
yesterday
gonna
when I was
come
talking
in
to
around
somebody,
8 or 9,
Aleister
and
versus
he's
Brock
going to go all the way
Lesnar.
until the final 5. He's probably going to eliminate 2 or 3 people.
I could see that. That'd be pretty cool, actually. Paul Heyman really
But I
wants
gotta
to
be
push him.
Aleister Black versus Brock Lesnar.
With how quick his match was on Monday, where all he did was hit one move on a random guy, and his music hits 10 seconds after it ended. I really think he's going to be the guy that's going to go the longest out of all of everybody.
Interesting.
That'd be cool.
Interesting. And who's your pick for the women?
Ronda Rousey, I think she's coming back. They want to do her and Becky.
Yeah, because of the conspiracy or the uncertainty of the shoulder being down at last WrestleMania. Again, the key is Ronda has to get there. Thank you, Ryan, for calling in. We appreciate it. And sharing your thoughts and calling in. Thank you so much.
From cold Colorado.
Yes, from cold, smelly, weedy Colorado. Hey, Justin, a great follower of our show here locally, put into the chat box that during the pre-show this week, someone from the past of WWE commentary, which I did not know, plus I knew him from one of the major radio stations back east, 95.5 WPLJ was the station growing up. Todd Pettengill is coming back to be a part of the pre-show for Royal Rumble, which I think you talk about a throwback, but this guy he was really, really good. So that's interesting that they're bringing him back. Kind of cool. What's that?
I want Coach.
You know what? I like Coach, and now they made this big hoopla that they brought him back. Was supposed to be part of the Raw commentary team initially. Then he's all over the place. Then he was hosting the pre-shows. We don't see much of the Coach anymore. I think it's a shame. Anyway, I guess that's
Too
just
busy
me.
with ESPN.
He's not doing ESPN anymore.
He's not?
Nope. No, that's why he came back to WWE. All right. We have a lot of pop culture items to wrap up the show. I'm going to take this first one because being in the huge Yankee fan, the big news in baseball world, of course, Derek Jeter got voted in. 1 vote shy of unanimous entry, which for me is blasphemy. And people are going to argue.
That guy should have his sports writers vote, revote.
Okay, it was me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, people are gonna argue, and I was getting into a discussion with somebody on my Facebook page that, well, he didn't win MVPs and he really wasn't ever the best shortstop during that time. Okay, yeah, Alex Rodriguez was playing short. Okay, the man played 20 years with 5 championships. 3,600 hits. Yeah, he played. People are going to
Not
say,
that.
hey, hang
Robert
on.
Horry had 5 championships with the Lakers.
No,
exactly.
I'm talking about baseball, MLB, period. He had 3,600 hits. 3,000 was a home run off David Price. He had the winning hit going off on his last game against the Orioles, the catch in the stadium, the play against Oakland. Somebody said MVPs. You know what? I'd rather have 5 championship rings than MVPs. I know he's an MVP. The Yankees know he was an MVP. MVPs don't go diving into stands. And I hope sometime soon, it'll probably never happen, but the person who decided not to put it on, of course, there's speculation that, he was from the Boston area, of course, but it is a crying shame. He should have gotten in unanimously with Rivera last year. He's in. It's wonderful, but I'm sorry, he should have been unanimous, and shame on the writer who chose not to put him in. Because whenever they find out who it is.
My take on this.
Go ahead.
My take on this, Derek Jeter, and you know me, I hate the Yankees. They took a World Series.
Mute him
from the
now.
Phillies.
Mute him now.
Still stand. But here's this. Derek Jeter was probably, of my generation, the greatest ambassador to the great game of baseball. If you want your quintessential baseball player, someone to look up to and respect, the first name that comes to my mind for the last 20 years is Derek Jeter.
Especially given the spotlight that he played in New York City, where people have come over the years and they melt, i.e. Randy Johnson, to give you one name, couple of pitchers, Sonny Gray most recently. You're talking about the hottest place to play, and for him to succeed over 20 years, played it clean, never got into issues, everybody liked him. It is. If they ever uncover who did not vote for him, I would love to know the reasoning as to why they didn't vote for him. Okay, enough on that. Let's take the next topic for culture news.
The NFL draft is coming to Las Vegas, and they
Yay.
announced that it's going to be in the middle of the Bellagio fountains, and they're actually going to close part of Las Vegas Boulevard for this.
That's
Wow.
gonna be a huge nightmare. Huge nightmare.
Yeah.
The nonprofit that I'm involved with, Kids Uplifting Kids, is doing a huge music fest that night down at the Government Center to benefit foster kids here in Las Vegas. And we just had to book hotel rooms for the major act that is our headline. And we're going to have 4 musical acts. Because of the draft, $1,000 night hotel.
Absolutely.
$1,000.
I'll say I bet you all the hotels
Wow.
went up insane.
Oh, absolutely they did. And that weekend is going to be obnoxiously crazy in this town. So
I'm glad I live here because I was actually planning on trying to get tickets to the draft and actually just go.
600,000 people are projected to come into Las Vegas. Bigger than any weekend we ever have. Bigger than New Year's, bigger than March Madness. 600,000 people. Jeez Louise.
Well, why don't we stay on the NFL? If you heard some of the rumblings from Roger Goodell of talking about making this place the permanent place for the Pro Bowl, which goes to my thoughts of us never getting a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because obviously the Pro Bowl, you can't have them back-to-back weeks. Pro Bowl used to be in Hawaii. It's moved around a little bit. Florida, back to Hawaii.
They did Hawaii a disservice.
They've been trying to have a
See, I'm
permanent
really
place.
sad because I used to live in Hawaii and I went to the Pro Bowl when I lived there. I actually graduated my high school. My high school graduation ceremony was in that stadium.
Oh, wow.
I think they should keep it in. I think they should keep it in Hawaii because it's really good for the
And
island.
the players want to go to Hawaii.
I think they want to
Yeah,
come to
it's-
Vegas
it's
more so
distinct.
now.
Well, maybe.
Because the Hawaii is a family type vacation for the
Right.
wife, and you're with your buddies and your teammates and some of the guys you've cracked heads with. I could see them wanting to have a party weekend now that the season's over.
Can you imagine how the actual Pro Bowl would be after like a 3-day drinking binge they all have?
Well, here's the thing: the Pro Bowl is this weekend. I don't even know where they're playing it this year.
I think it's in Florida.
It's in Florida, and I saw the first commercial for it when I got home before coming here. 5 days out from the game, and I saw the first commercial. And the Pro Bowl is not what it should stay after the Super Bowl.
True.
And it should not be this. I realize it's a dead week that the NFL's trying to fill in, but still, needless to say. Speaking of
Are
the
they
NFL,
still doing the weird rules like the skinny end zone posts, goal posts, whatever?
for what?
I remember like last year at the Pro Bowl, they were like trying to implement new rules just to test them out.
No, I don't know what they're doing with rules. Either way, it's nothing more than tag football with pads on because they're not going to hit the quarterback. I don't know if they're mixing up players and teams like they've done in the past. I don't even know who the head people are for this. It's become a fallacy that
True.
really nobody's following. They're making a gimmick out of
Isn't
it.
Mike Vick one of them now?
He might be. Why
no
might-
Chiefs or 49ers in it. That's like
Exactly.
most of the good players now.
One other.
They're not going to put Mahomes out there.
One other, well, he can anyway because of the Super Bowl. Anyway, one other NFL note that was announced a couple hours ago. Eli Manning has decided to officially retire from the Giants rather than try to pursue another contract. He will make the formal announcement on Friday. The debates will start up and down as to whether he belongs in the Hall of Fame as an NFL quarterback. His numbers rank in the top 10. One knock against him will be interceptions, and his personal record win-loss has always hovered around 500. Question will be whether Eli belongs in the Hall of Fame. But either as a huge Giants fan and an Eli guy, I'm glad he's not going to sign on with another team.
I agree that, end your career, go off, right off into the sunset, sort of like what Elway did.
In that logic, do you think that Phillip Rivers or Tom Brady are going to sign with new teams? Or they're going to
Brady stays in New England. I could see Rivers, possibly New York now, because I don't think Daniel Jones is ready.
Which would be ironic considering that Rivers was traded from the Giants for Eli Manning back-to-back, which would be ironic. But I don't know how much more Phillip Rivers has. And a guy who's trying to get to the championship, are the Giants ready to take that step? No way. If I were Phillip Rivers, I'd be looking for a team that I can at least get into the playoffs and have a really solid shot of winning a Super Bowl.
You know what? Considering who your new offensive coordinator is, get used to not winning.
No, that's not true. That's not true. Jason, listen.
Wow.
Jason Garrett, if you go back to the offensive numbers, Jason Garrett has always been a very solid offensive coordinator because he was a court. Why did I lose my microphone?
Yes.
He was a very solid OC.
I'm muting you.
He had good
From
numbers.
Virginia.
He had careful. I could still unplug your microphone from here. But he had even the Dallas Cowboys this year offensively were like near the top 10 in offense. They were like number 12 or something.
Do you notice he's trying to justify a Cowboy coming to the Giants?
He was a Giant first.
I know, right?
He was a backup
He's probably going
quarterback.
to try to justify Eli going into the Hall after this.
Well, I haven't even. That'll be a show for another topic, or another topic for
right.
another show.
Does
But anyway,
got 2 Super Bowls.
But here's the thing.
See when I was talking about more content, we should do a football show.
We have to
2 more
remember
than Carson Wentz,
Jason. That's right. Jason.
Prince Harry?
Jason Garrett was a Giants backup quarterback. He came out of the Giants system. Okay, he's not pure non-Giants. He's got Giant blue. Okay. 2 last topics. You've already said happy birthday to Tully Blanchard.
Shuts us up by him controlling the bell.
Well, go ahead. I mean, you guys, I'm sitting there. Go. You got 2 minutes before we sign off. You got anything on that? Go.
You go, Matt.
Go. Von Erich family? We saw that coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody want to talk about the Von Erichs? If not, screw you all.
Did we not have caffeine?
I don't know. I don't know why I got hyped about that. Derek Jeter did that to me with his being short one.
I told you, I was the one that didn't vote him
one
in.
vote.
It was
That's
me. I
insane.
have a writer's vote.
If that guy
Antonio.
ain't from the Boston Herald, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, right. AB, Justin sent in, I think AB Antonio Brown will become the leader of the XFL.
And show up in the Royal Rumble.
Vince's number 1 rule is he can't be a criminal, so
Oh, my
he's
God.
out right off the bat.
All right. Last note that we saw come in, it's not on the run sheet, but the Von Erich family, they're doing a movie about them. Apparently it's coming out.
Honestly, unless it's like a Netflix movie or something like that, if you lined up 10 wrestling fans, 9 of them wouldn't tell you who the Von Erichs are.
Well, if they watched that Viceland series last year, which was a really good series, they talked about the Von Erich family. What is it? Dark Side of the Ring, I think was the name of the series.
Yeah, the one wrestling movie I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how it's going to come out is the Hulk Hogan biopic with
Chris Hemsworth.
playing Hogan.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. I forgot about that. And then I saw today, which I shared very quickly, is that a luchador, and I can't remember his name, Blue Demon or
Blue
something.
Demon Jr.
Signed with Disney.
Signed with Disney. They're going to do a show about this guy as a superhero on Disney. Are you kidding me?
Baby Yoda still owns Disney.
That I would agree with. All right. We're down to about like 0 seconds. So, gentlemen, closing final thoughts, please.
Hope everyone has a good weekend. Contact us about sponsorship and go Niners. They're winning the Super Bowl this year.
Wow.
Kansas and Kansas State basketball are the
shame
secret
on you.
entrance into the Royal Rumble.
Oh, very good. Especially the guy who picked up the chair.
Yes.
Very good. Johnny, final thoughts. Very good.
Baby Yoda is really just Mickey Mouse in cosplay.
Awesome.
All right, here's a reminder. This Saturday, Power Play Sports and Collectibles, 8 a.m. Pacific. Scott and I will be down at Sunset Station live at the card show. 12 p.m. on Saturday, Twin Brothers from Different Mothers. This show will re-air Sunday, 6 p.m. Pacific. Tune in, send us information, stay tuned to our Facebook page. Have a great time, everybody. Have a great week. Enjoy Royal Rumble. Can't wait to talk about it next week. Be safe. See ya.
Let me ask you something, Sergeant Boyd. What happens after you make the arrest? That's what happens to you. What happens to the community, it's a bit more complicated. Defense attorneys will trip over themselves challenging past cases won by these officers. And will succeed. You might put 3